Shrek 2. Ignore my different background and all that. I still cleaning up my area of where I record. Shrek 2 is awesome, and we're going to talk about why. But if you missed it, last week I dropped my review of Shrek. I'm reviewing all the Shreks in the lead up to Puss in Boots coming out in December. Now, they did do an early screening, so I was able to review that movie early. But for the rest of you guys are gonna have to wait until December. So let's just talk about Shrek 2, the Shrekening. I'm kidding, but Shrek 2 is awesome. And it's considered by many to be the best of the Shrek movies. And honestly, they're wrong. Shrek 3 is just. I'm fucking kidding. No. Shrek 3 is god awful. We'll talk about that next week. But this movie is obviously the best of the franchise. And I think it's the best because. Like, Shrek 1's good. But Shrek 1 starts to show its age a little bit, and this one does such a good job at expanding the franchise. Like, so after this movie, Far Far Away becomes like the setting of the series because they did such a great job with this movie. It is the humor is the funniest it's ever been in the whole series. Like, yeah, the first one had the plenty laugh out moments. This one has even more. The jokes are just funnier and a lot wittier. Also, a lot of the new voice actors like John Cleese and other people do a great job of bringing more to the humor in this movie. Also, great additions like Puss in Boots, of course, played by Antonio Banderas, who does such a great job as that character. You know, so many great things like that within this movie that make this such a stronger movie, and it's just great for that reason. It is so funny. Um, the animation is obviously better because it came out like 3 or so years ago. I think it was 2004, if I'm remembering right. But yeah, it came out after the original, so obviously the animation got a boost. Uh, the characters, their journeys are a lot more meaningful than in the first Shrek. Like, Shrek is having to deal with his um in-laws and what the that deals with, and having to deal with what it truly means to love Fiona. And so, like, that's a great character arc in this movie, and so that leads to a lot of great moments. Jennifer Saunders plays a great villain in The Fairy Godmother, who has a lot of great moments. And obviously the soundtrack is quite a bit better. Don't really need to say much more than that. Like Holding Out for a Hero, Funky Town, Accidentally in Love, you know, all those are great. And so this is just a great sequel that not only like does a great job of making you laugh, but also giving you a lot of heart. I feel for Shrek a lot in this movie, which, you know, I could say like in the first movie there was a couple moments like that, but you really feel for him throughout this entire movie. You get why he does everything he does. He's such a strong character, and it leads to a lot of great moments within the movie, and it's just great. Shrek 2 is awesome. And it's one of those movies, though, it's so good that it's almost like you have to watch it to really get it. Because it's such an enjoyable movie that, you know, you can't describe that feeling that you just get of, like, just pure enjoyment while watching it. Like, yeah, I can describe what works about, whatever. But it's really a movie that once you start watching it, you're just getting this sense of, like, pure enjoyment where you're just enjoying the movie and the ride. And there's no other way to describe it other than I just had fun.